Hey y'all, it's me, Niecy Lynn. Good morning. I hope you're having a happy Friday. I'm gonna jump on here really quick and try to hurry through this. Micah is on her way to pick up Mama with the girls and come over here. We're gonna spend the day together, so I'm gonna try to be quick. I don't know if it'll work, but since I'm going to try to be really quick, I'm going to do things in a little bit of a reverse order. I'm gonna say some thank yous. I'm going to show my whips and my finish, and then I'll go through questions at the end. That way, if I don't get through questions, I can stick them on next week, okay? So I appreciate y'all all being so patient with me. This morning, I'm in nuclear meltdown, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but holy moly, I am like, oh my gosh, so hot. Thank you, hormones. But y'all have been so sweet to me for my birthday and things. I have been so shocked. I go out to the mailbox and there's a surprise and there's a surprise. And I have just been floored, absolutely floored. So y'all are gonna hear all the crinkly because I wanted to be sure I kept everything together to show y'all. And this one is gonna be hard to hold up because Teresa sent me all the fun things. And when I was talking about not having anything for finishing, she sent me all the fabrics, the ginghams, yellows, pinks, this fun little all color one, the polka dots, a bunch of variegated different threads that are so cute, rickrack and trims. And of course, y'all know the girls have already seen this and this fabric here and said that this had to be made into dresses for their babies. So I won't get to use that because it's already been claimed by the girls. And she was so sweet. She sent them little coloring kits with little cutouts that they colored and little sparkly beanie toys that clip on their backpacks. And they love their backpacks and they love to decorate them. And the sweetest note here, and I opened it up. Y'all, I nearly cried every time I've opened these up. Y'all have been so, so sweet. So thank you, Teresa. And she's Maggie Grace Creates on Insta. She has beautiful things, and she always has beautiful things to say too, like nice things, like nice ways to look at things. So y'all, take a look, and I'm gonna have to lean up because I'm leaning way over. And then Lisa is on Instagram, and Lisa, what is your Instagram name? You may be your name, Lisa Langsteiner. I should have written all this. I should have done better about writing all these down. But she had Denise at Goose make me a bag. And this a little needle minder. And look at this beautiful spring bag. It is so gorgeous. And look, it's like it looks like the word plays patterns. And it is so beautiful. I was just shocked. I opened it up in the mail, and here this is. And Denise puts a little note in here that tells me that it's happy birthday from your friend Lisa Langsteiner in sunny California, who's a huge fan. Y'all, thank you so much, Lisa. And I've been so shocked at how sweet y'all are. And then this came. This is this beautiful card here. My fingers will work this morning here. This is from Karen, and she's KJS on my Flosstube, and Karen SOUSA salsa. I think like the music, like Sousa. I say it. That may be wrong, but like, you know, marching music. John Phillip, isn't that right? Anyway, this beautiful card, and she made me this bag. She made it herself. Y'all are so talented because look at these seams. I'm just amazed, and look at the beautiful fabric. I loved it. And it is, my mama always had patterns around, and then I'll try to find a picture because this is very much like what her bridesmaid dresses were in her wedding, this style. I'll try to find a picture of it. It is just, the bag is beautiful with this beautiful note that she put in here. Look, it's a little tag. It's so cute. And y'all know I'm so silly. I saved this because it's more baker's twine ribbon like stuff that I love. So she made this in a little beautiful pull on here and everything. So y'all have just had me shocked all week at opening up the mail every day. And then yesterday I went out after the girls were pulling out of the driveway. I walked out, and here's another package with a beautiful card and this beautiful thing that I think it is Kismet, Diane, that did this. It's You I Like, which I've meant to stitch a million of, and of course have yet to get any stitched. But Patience did, and she sent me this beautiful note with this inside. And she messaged me to see if she had Noah pattern that she wasn't going to use. She made me this beautiful bag. Y'all are so, look at these seams. Y'all are killing me. Y'all are so talented. And she had these little buttons in the thing, and I don't know where I'm gonna put them on yet, but I put them on here for now because they just look adorable. And they're beautiful buttons on this beautiful little pin. So I've got them on here. It's this beautiful bag. So I have had one project bag in my whole life that I bought from Denise, and it was a beautiful bag that I keep my my health and peace work in. Is the only project bag I've had. The rest are just, you know, these like that I buy off, that I've had off Amazon. Like, you know, these things here. You know, they do the job, but they're not very pretty. So there was this, the beautiful note, the It's You I Like, and then these beautiful charts. Love the Spring by Shakespeare's Peddler, which I had never seen. This Noah one, which I had been stalking on eBay. Starbright Bell Pools, and see it has the Noah right here in the center. And I'm just gonna stitch this thing like a long sampler. It is so cute. Patience, I love this. It is so adorable. And now she is stitching STITCHN 304 on Instagram. So y'all can check out her beautiful work. Heart in Hand, Angel of Liberty. Look at how cute. And this little one here. And the beautiful angel. I'm trying not to get any things on there. They're in these beautiful sleeves. This one, Sweet Land of Liberty, because you know I'm in patriotic mode. So she sent all these beautiful charts and all these beautiful extras. And these I will probably share some of these after I get them marked in, because they're just beautiful and I can never get them all stitched. But look at this red velvet by Ink Circles. This is kind of a mandala design. Beautiful, beautiful, and I think it's just with one color. Confetti Linen. And just one color, just one DMC, it looks like 4210, that red variegated, which I do love. And it says it takes 2 skeins. Look at that, it is so pretty. But then this one, I've never even seen this thing. Not on eBay, not on Etsy, not on anywhere. Northern Noah by the Stitcher's Habit. I don't know if I can get it to focus good for the dang glare. It is so cute. I cannot wait to get these started. But it's got like a polar bear and a moose and a penguin and different things from up north that you usually don't think about seeing on the ark, even though you know they hadn't been there. But it's so cute. So Patience, thank you so much. Y'all have just had me shocked. Shocked at how sweet you are. I just couldn't. Every day I've opened up the mail and I've been like, oh my gosh. Now, I will say I needed that, because this week we had a little bit of trauma here. One morning, one girl went with Micah and one girl stayed with me, and the next morning, one girl stayed with me and one went with Micah. Just so they could have a little bit of time apart, because they've been, you know, together so much during this quarantine. They haven't got to have play dates or anything, so it's been kind of rough. They've only got to have one person over to play, and that's somebody they see so much, it's like a sister. So it's been rough. So here we were, Aria and I, so she's the littler one, and we were playing around, and so we're going into whips now, because this is gonna seg into whips. We're in the chair, and we're playing around, goofing around, and she said something, and I said something. My daddy counts their ribs all the time. He said, let me count your ribs. And I said, well, if Buddy was here, he'd be counting your ribs. And she said, you can't count my ribs, sugar. And I said, oh, yes, I can. So I started counting her ribs and tickling her. Y'all, that right foot shot out, and we were sitting in this chair here. And now my stitching was on the arm of the far chair. That chair is about 4 foot across. It's one of those big, like, chair and a halves or whatever, two double chairs. It's giant. I had, and I don't have it in here, but you know I use Yeti cups. I had 16 ounces of coffee in a Yeti cup sitting on the table right beside us. That right foot hit that coffee. It flew all the way across that chair. Bam, right on top of May Health and Peace Attend Your Days. Chart, threads, I'll show them from the back. It also flew over on my photocopied piece of their song, because I usually work off photocopy. I didn't photocopy this one, my lady's needle one, my May Health and Peace. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. And I jumped up and she said, oh, shoot, I'm sorry. I said, baby, you didn't do it. We were just playing. It's just an accident, but we gotta hurry. Come on, we gotta rinse it. Threads and everything, y'all. So we ran in here, we grabbed it, we stuck it in the sink in cold water. I let it soak for a little bit. I think it came out okay. I finished the tree and added this flower since y'all saw it, but it didn't get much more done after its trauma. But this lakeside linen and those steadfast, never fail DMC threads didn't bleed an ounce. Just came out just perfect. I was so shocked and pleasantly amazed. Because literally, she said, oh, shoot. I said, baby, it's fine. We're just playing. We just got to rinse it out. And she said, why do we got to rinse it? And I said, well, you know, coffee, you know how sometimes when you want to play old lady or baby, and yes, they play old lady, which is hilarious. And Kimmy don't want to, but you want to make her. That's what coffee does. Coffee wants to make everything be the color it is. So we got to rinse it so it can't make our picture be the color it wants it to be, because coffee's like that. So we got it rinsed out and I think it's fine, but y'all, I was shocked. So I needed some help this week because it has been something else. I kept going to the bathroom and looking at it and the threads. I mean, literally the whole threads. I'm gonna stand up and grab these. I thought I had them where I could reach them, but I can't. I just dunked them in the bathtub. They seem to be fine. I think I may just rebuy these threads. I don't know. I can't decide. But it's alive for what it's worth. But y'all, I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And of course, you know, I used to try to get my kids to do that as a science project. How far milk or anything besides water will go, because water don't cover near as much space as milk. I don't care what people say. Milk, coffee, Coke, you spill anything else and it'll go way, way further than water go. I don't know why, but it will. It goes everywhere. So y'all have to know that 16 ounces of coffee went all over this, all over that chair, all over the floor, all over the table. It was everywhere. So we got it all cleaned up and we were fine, but I needed some happiness this week because I was really, really worried about my beautiful sample was going to be dead. But thank you, Lakeside Linens, and thank you, DMC, because y'all are the best. Not one ounce of fade or bleed. I'm so pleasantly shocked and surprised. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I worked on my Dare song by Blackbird's Designs this week. It is beautiful. I didn't get a lot of stitching done this week. I don't know what happened. Well, I had Mama Tuesday, and then the girls have just needed a lot of attention this week, and so we've tried to split them up and take some time. But I got some more leaves done over here and over here and here, and I think I just did leaves this week, maybe, since I've seen y'all. I'm not sure, but I think it was just leaves. I think I had blackbirds, the word blackbirds done last week. But it's beautiful, and I don't know why everything looks so dark today. I put my other light on in here, but it still looks dark to me, sorry. But It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece, and it's that April Brown Bindi was the linen that I had. I've had it for a long, long time with the pattern. It was with the pattern. So then I have Tis the Season. I got a little bit done on Tis the Season here. I've got to figure out how to, I got to cover it. So we'll use this little thingy thing. Tis the Season by Blackbird Designs, and it is in something, I think it was maybe in something else too, but I'm doing it out of Home for the Holidays, which is a fabulous Blackbird book. If you don't have it, you should run out and find it somewhere, because it's got all the things, and it has the bigger stocking that I've done, and then this Christmas garden. I mean, it's got all the good things. So here is my Tis the Season. I did this guy, y'all were right. I came and added this up here to level it up, but look, I've got to mess up right here. I got to see about. But this did level it up across the top, so that's fine. That's gonna work that out, so thank you. Then I'm gonna put my initials in here. There's some berries that go here, and maybe here, and then the year is right down here on the end. But we don't have that far to go. There's just the rest of this curly Q out here, and then some snowflakes and your initials, the year, I mean, and then the words, whatever you put across the bottom. So this piece, and that is that Turkish red, and this color conversion I got from Patricia Geary. I don't remember who she said she got it from. I'll try to remember to look before next week and see who she said she got it from, because it's beautiful and they should get their due. But like I said, I got it from Patricia. But it is, I've got on here Whitewash by Weeks, Bark by Weeks, Palomino by Weeks, Turkish Red by Weeks, and I got two of those, two of Turkish Reds. Peapod by Classic Colorworks, Wild Berries by Classic Colorworks, and then Gas, I have Forest Glade, Grecian Gold, and Brandy. So these colors are, when I looked at the other colors, it was real, the bird was real pink looking, and I didn't want my cornrow to be pink looking. I needed him to be real, real red. So he's like super red. So I'm super happy about him being super red. But see, this was my other copy, my photocopy for him. Y'all, it went everywhere. But I had those two. I had my Health and Peace photo chart on top of these photocopies. It just soaked down through everything. Of course, I let this set and grabbed my needlework and went and threw the linen in the cold water. So this kind of got soaked in. It was on, oh my gosh, y'all, it was on everything. It was on everything. And then I started, because I did have a little finish, so I started Long May She Wave by Little House here. And y'all, this wavy navy, look at this. I am in love with this wavy navy. This is Wavy Navy by Classic Colorworks. And I don't know if it's showing, it's got such good variegation in it. I love it, love it, love it. Love it, love it. And these colors, if you can find these little packs, these colors come in here. So any of y'all need a workshops that have these, shout, because people probably want them. All these colors that you need to do this design came in this little pack with a chart for, I want to say it was like 13 bucks or something. I've had it a while, and it was, I thought, a great buy. So I was super happy about that. Then my finish this week was this one. I need to put a face on her, because I'm disturbed by things that don't have faces. That really creeps me out, kind of. I don't know why. I do too. Did y'all read Skullduggery Pleasant? Have y'all ever read those books? They're really good books if you haven't. They're kind of kids' books. They would be fun to read with your kids, but they're really good books. But there's the faceless ones in there, and that's what I think that I've always been creeped out by faceless things. And then in that book, they understood that and capitalized on it. But if you can find those Skullduggery Pleasant books, they're really fun reads. But here it is, all stitched up. I did a red star instead. My white, as you can see, didn't show up great on this, because this is that blue and tan dyed, grit dyed Monaco. And my white didn't show up great on it, as you can see kind of around her hat. So I did my blues, my star red instead, and then I've got my year and initials are in tiny in the corners. Just real small. It's real small. And I tell y'all, sometimes I do them in lowercase. I don't know if that's going to focus or not, but I do them real tiny in backstitch sometimes. And for some reason, sometimes I do my initials lowercase. I don't know why. I just do. The PDF this week, I've been trying to remember to say one of those. The Cottage Needle on Etsy had tons of things. Mela told me about them. They have a pattern by Wax and Moon called Preserving Liberty that she was telling me about. I went and looked at it. It is so cute. And they have all kinds of things that I didn't think were PDF charts on there. So the Cottage Needle on Etsy had tons of cool PDF things for y'all that don't have an LNS or for whatever reason like PDF downloads. I know a lot of y'all put them on your iPads and things and do them that way. But they had tons of things. And while I was crawling around on there, I saw, have y'all seen that? And I think Laura had it maybe a couple of weeks back. Or somebody had, it's Nantucket Broom Ride. I'd seen it, and then I saw it on somebody's this week. I got to watch like 2 seconds of, I turned it on with Mama when she was here on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I thought she would like Laura and Brenda, and she did, because I turned it on the last time she was here, because I thought she would like to see them talking to each other, and she did. She kind of dozes off, but when she comes back, she likes seeing them talking to each other. And I think it was Laura that had the Nantucket Broom Ride, and it's a witch on a whale. You can't beat that. That's fabulousness. 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 So, now I've got a little bit of time left in there, not here, so we will try to go into questions real quick. Little Shay was talking about in New York they call crickets peepers, and somebody had asked why we called crickets Sallies. I had to ask around, I was not sure. My cousin Kim evidently started it. She'd catch them and put them in a little box, and she named them all Sally for whatever reason, and it stuck. So we all grew up calling them Sallies. So that's why crickets are called Sallies in my family. Angie said she's a new stitcher. I did a beginning tutorial back in March. You can find it in it'll be a ways back, but you can find it. It'll say beginner stitching tutorial, and it's in the kind of around the March segment. That might help some. It has just some tips and tricks on there. Anna said The Man Who Invented Christmas is a movie on Amazon now, which I'll have to try to find. I have not seen that. Catherine says the Shadows piece at the Cricut Collection, she is stitching it, and she's Catherine ASP on Instagram. I had never seen it, and it's like a silhouette stitching. It's beautiful. So y'all might go check that out. It's so pretty. Jessa, Christy, and a couple of other ones of y'all were looking for the 2021 keepsake calendar. The only thing I can find is an 800 number for it. 800-322-0691. So that's for the Craftways Makes the Keepsakes Calendar. 800-322-0691. I did get a comment from another stitcher that's looking for the 2017. If any of y'all have the 2017 and want to get shed of it, she's looking for it. And they don't sell old ones. And I even tried to check around for it. I didn't see it on Etsy or anywhere. So if any of y'all see one or know where there is one, holler. Vicki asked about my art background. I don't have one. I've just always been, they always called me Niecy or Doodle when I was a kid because I just doodled and drew all the time. My daddy is a fabulous artist. He can draw anything just like that. Just look at it and draw it. And at church, Mike, the man who owns the prosthetics lab, sat behind me. And they had redone the children's wing, and they painted all these people, on the hallway, all these Bible people. And then in the children's choir room, they painted all these angels on the wall, but nothing had a face. Because somebody was willing to paint the things, people and animals, but was not willing to paint faces. And they were expecting these kids to back up to this wall with all these giant people. I mean, they were the same size as they were, faceless angels, and I was not okay with that. So I just went over one afternoon and did faces on them. And so then the next week at choir, he said, hey, somebody said you did the faces over in the children's wing. I said, yeah, I just went over and did them one afternoon. It creeps me out, but they don't have faces. And he said, come talk to me about going to work. And I said, oh, I'm not looking for a job right now. And he said, well, come talk to me anyway. And I was there, what, 11, 12 years. There you go. So no, I don't have an art background. I'm just kind of that's the way my brain works. And I like doing that kind of stuff. So it just kind of happened. And I did say last week, and I always mess it up, that, and L. Elliott reminded, Shepherd's Bush is in Utah, Shepherd's Needle is in Arkansas. And I don't know why I cannot keep it straight in my brain. I always say it backwards, so thank you. I'm just backward about that. Let me see. Oh, and Diane, her husband and I are birthday twins, but she said she doesn't comment because she watches it on the TV. I have the same problem. If, like when I turned it on for Mom the other day, or if I'm in the kitchen watching, sometimes I will get to watch a little bit, but it's usually when I'm in the kitchen doing something, or I'm picking up after the girls have gone if I start it, but I don't know how to comment while you're watching the TV. Sometimes I remember to go back on my phone and say what I wanted to say, but I don't always. So I hate that. So if any of y'all know an better way to do that, scream, because I am in that same boat. And the Betsy Ross and the Patriotic Trio, Anne sent the package, but they were from her and Nikki Harmon, both. And so I do appreciate it. Like I said, I've already stitched Betsy. So she is adorable, but it was from both of them. So I wanted to, she's Nikki663 on Instagram. She and Anne both sent those. So, and it was Deanna who wanted to know why we call Cricket Sally's. And so I've already told y'all that. Doreen is stitching the Plum Street Bless Our Land. Have y'all seen that? That thing is beautiful. It's beautiful. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. It's so pretty. Amy says she thinks that the white threads look so hard to get them smooth is because they only throw shadows. There's no color there, so you only see the shadows. So if your stitches are the least bit lumpy, that's all you see is the shadow from if the lumps aren't all exactly uniform from your stitches. So she said she thinks that's why the white stitches give us all so much grief. But if y'all haven't looked at Steph's of Pam and Steph, hers look like they came out of a machine. No kidding. They are absolutely perfect, each one. She was showing something a while back I saw, and it was all white. It was just a field of white, and each stitch was identical perfection. So goals someday. Oh, Patricia said that at her house, her and her husband were surprised one day during a solar eclipse that the crickets started chirping during the solar eclipse. And when I was a little girl, my papa could tell you how hot it was by how many times they were chirping. He would count how many times they were chirping, and he could tell you how hot it was, like crazy accurate. And I looked it up, and there is some like fact to it, like it is a thing, like how many times they chirp. You add numbers to it and stuff. Anyway, you can look it up, but I remembered that when she said that, him doing that, and us always being amazed. And so that's the thing. It is a real thing. Darlene had asked what needles I was using, and I told her I thought I was using these. I'm horrible about grabbing whatever needle I have at hand. They're stuck in everything. I just move them from project to project, like, you see what I'm saying? When I finished up Betsy Ross, I stuck her in this that I stitched last week to move her to another project, because she said they looked a little long. I wonder if they're this one, this John James that's in the middle. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. I don't know why I didn't want to focus. Ugh. Is it gonna focus now? It's a John James size 24-26 tapestry. And the center two are kind of longer. I'm wondering if it was one of those that you saw, because it looks a little longer too. She said the short needles are giving her fits. So I'm wondering if it was this John James size 24-26 tapestry needle. The middle ones are kind of longer. So maybe it was those. Maybe it was some of those. I'm hoping that helps. Like I said, I don't pay enough attention. I just stick them in the next thing and don't. I'm awful. I'm awful about that. Jacqueline Boyd was the one that was wanting the Leslie Tier rabbit, and Georgette is the one who had it. So Jacqueline, if you see Georgette on here, or Georgette, if you see Jacqueline Boyd on here, if not, I will look, because I'm sure Georgette commented back, and get y'all's emails together. And somebody told me, and I can't remember who, that Kelsey's in Placerville, California is shipping. That's another shop that's shipping right now. So if you're calling around and can't find what you need, Kelsey's in Placerville, California is also shipping. So check with them. And any shops, if y'all know of any shops, or any of y'all have shops, Etsy, brick and mortar, whatever, that have the Blackbird stockings, several people are looking for them on here. So if any of y'all have them, holler before next week, and I'll say who has them and stuff, so that y'all can get them cleared out, because there are people that want them. Okay, and Darlene, y'all know this. Darlene's husband, her father-in-law, when they got married, filled their car up with crickets for them to leave on their honeymoon. Y'all, I'm afraid it would have been a divorce. Right then. Your daddy has just annulled this marriage right now. I would have lost it. Lost it. I can't imagine. Them things jumping around in the car, I would have lost my mind. I can deal with bugs. I don't like them, especially not June bugs. When I was a little girl, my Uncle Wayne is the one that talked about my ought-to-be hair. And I was little. And he put a bunch of June bugs down my shirt one time. And I went to screaming and crying and screaming and crying. And, you know, back in the day, this is what people did, I guess. And I wouldn't stop screaming and crying. And Mom said, well, if you don't stop crying, I'm going to give you something to cry about. And I was still just crying, freaking out. So I got a whooping. Well, then she found the June bugs. And I'm sure it felt kind of bad. But then I went to cry a little bit, went to crying and screaming again. And of course she thought I was just, I guess, being dramatic. Imagine me? What? No. And I got another whooping. There was a June bug that they missed. So I got two whoopings. Two whoopings. So I'm a little bit oversensitive about people hiding bugs and things because of that. So Darlene, you're a good woman if you stayed married and let your father-in-law ever see his grandkids or his granddogs or his anything, or ever brought him food or anything else. Oh, and Bonnie is in Ionia, Michigan. We talked about Dolly's Imagination Library and how they'll ship you books every month, and I still haven't got that signed up for the girls because that sounds super fun. But she said in her town, they send out fabric panels every month and they make these quilts. And then they send them and they auction them off, and that helps pay for Dolly's Imagination Library. And I thought that was really cool. So any of y'all that quilt or good at quilting might want to look into that. Angela says there's a Libby app for audiobooks. Any of y'all haven't tried audiobooks? That I'm going to look up and try, because I'll love me some audiobooks. Lori Ray was looking for where to buy the Silky threads. I got mine on Amazon like a long time ago, but some of y'all had told me that you can go to Silky.com and buy them from them straight. I think some of the LNSs are carrying them now too. But she said if you buy them from Silky, then they send you good coupons to buy other ones later on. So that might be something to look into. Christine says that she's always follows a pattern and never thought about changing colors or the pattern up or anything. And I think it's important that we have both those kinds of people. My daughter is like the person who follows the pattern. She likes guidelines, she likes rules, and she likes things to be just. I'm one of those people that just, I'm everywhere. I'm all over the place. And so there are so many times that she has to showing me how to do the YouTube thing. She helps me do things with it all the time, because my brain does not work that way. It doesn't work. If it's sequencing especially, I have a problem with anything that goes in the same sequence. I can tell you all the steps, but I can't the order that they go in is a problem for me, always. So I can tell you, you're supposed to push this button, this button, this button, but what order you're supposed to push them in will always get messed up in my brain. And my husband thinks it's hilarious because I can tell him really weird things, like, you know, facts about things. And he'll say, how did you know that? I'm like, I don't know, I read it somewhere. And I can remember that, but he'll say, but you can't turn on the TV. I'm like, no, I can't turn on the TV. He got me a special remote now. It's just one remote, so that works great. So I can turn on the TV now. That helps. And Lois says there's no crickets in the UK. I may be moving if I can find a place that's warm. I'm just saying, no crickets might be a deal maker for me. I would like to watch a cricket match too one day, but so I gotta know, is that all over the UK? Is that just in certain places in the UK? Y'all let me know about that. Judith said, Jan Alexander, I showed that Glory Glory piece that I'm gonna stitch in my stash for Patriotic stash. She said Jan Alexander is her sweet friend and it is a beautiful piece. So I asked her to let me know if they're still available anywhere because it is beautiful and I'm sure some of y'all want to stitch it. Sherry asked about my lipstick for the stocking tutorial. Y'all, this is what it was, but I can't find a number, like on, you know, there's usually something on the end, but there's not. It says CoverGirl Jumbo Gloss Bomb Creams. And it has some numbers over here. If I can see them, I should have brought my glasses in here. Lord have mercy. 13616A. And then above that, it's 5201. I don't know if those are the color numbers or if there was a little sticker on the bottom one time and it fell off. But that's what it looks like. And I really do like it. That's one of my if I'm gonna wear red, that's one of the things I go to. Julie asked me, after I rip down my fabric, do I bake it? No, because if I bake it, I burn it. I am not good about just doing one thing. I've always got like 80 things going, right? And I set a timer if I'm cooking things, so that's fine. Or if I'm just cooking things, I'm just always in the kitchen. Oh, here comes everybody about to finish up. But if I try to bake fabric, because I'm not sure how long, I end up just burning it to a crisp, like it's always too dark. So no, I just usually dunk mine and squeeze it and redunk it and squeeze it. If I wanted a little more brown, sometimes I'll dunk it in a little bit of brown or dunk parts of it in a little bit of brown and stuff. The other thing I wanted to show y'all real quick, like I said, they're on the back porch now, so I'll hurry. They just walked up. Is I'm hoping to have a Finish-a-Palooza next week. And because I've got these Liberty pieces that I need to finish, and I've got these patterns somewhere. But I haven't found them or my Lizzie Kate pattern since we moved. And most of these are done on Ada. So y'all had also asked about seeing some Ada things. So I wanted to get these out and show y'all. So this is a Liberty piece, and I don't know who stitched these because I haven't found my stash that has these patterns in it. So I've got that one to FFO. I've got Be Brave to FFO. I've got Liberty, isn't she cute, to FFO. This is a Blackbird piece. Le Poulet, I think is the name of it. And it's done on that. This is 32 count, that dot fabric. I don't know what it's called, but Swiss dot's what it makes me think of. That one's not patriotic. Oh, I've got this little arc I've got to finish. Isn't he cute? I don't know where he came from either, but I'll finish him with those. I've got a couple of Christmas ones in here. But then the main one that I've got to get finished that was loaned to me by a friend forever ago, that I've got to finish because I was always afraid to finish it. Now I'm just going to man up and get it done, is Lady Liberty. And she is done on Ada. Because I was afraid to try to do her on linen because I had not stitched on it a ton at that point, just a couple of times. And so I was afraid like all my little pieces would show through, and I didn't know, I hadn't seen Vanna's tutorial. I didn't know about Vanna or anybody to know how to, or Kathy to know how to finish it without put interfacing or anything, and I was afraid to show through. So I stitched it on Ada so I knew I wouldn't see my little end pieces and stuff on the back. So that, for what that's worth, I'm hoping to have those finished before next week and have a finish-a-palooza for y'all. And I forgot to bring it in here, but you know, last week we talked about crickets. Was the giveaway, the autumn pattern. And Sharon Lawrence won the, the random picker picked her. So Sharon, if you'll get with me and get me your address, I'll get that in the mail to you. I know you're, I think, in Scotland. So that'll be fun for the girls, for us to address something in Scotland. We've never done that. We've done Australia and maybe England once. So they'll be so excited when we address things. They think that's super fun. So then this week's share is gonna be Betsy Ross here. And just put the word flag in there. I put out flags on patriotic days. And so just put the word flag in there if you're interested in the Betsy Ross. And then I think I covered most everything. Oh, Lynn said the Chronicles of St. Mary's books by Jody Taylor are good. I don't know what else I've missed, but I'll find it if I didn't, and we'll cover it next week. But they're out there on the patio, and here, I'll swing y'all around before I say bye. Let's see if y'all can, if I can get them out there, y'all. They're out there on the patio. I think they have their donuts. I think they have their donuts out there. So I'm about to go out there and play with them, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great weekend and enjoy your stitching. Bye.